Welcome to the Inspiring Coaches Show, the podcast devoted to inspiring coaches to bring their professional dreams to life by revealing the knowledge, insights, and best practices of other inspiring coaches. I'm your host, Jen Anderson, Master Certified Coach, early settler of the coaching industry, lover of all things coaching, and what coaching is doing to make the world a better place. Well, hello out there. As you all know by now, I love to start every episode with a celebration. It's how I start every coaching session. Every time I do any kind of training, I ask people what it is that we can celebrate from their lives. And as I've mentioned before in this podcast, people are surprised by that. They are not used to thinking about their life from a standpoint of what's going really well. And so this shifts the energy, gets us started off on a great path with the coaching. And today, actually, I am going to steal this little moment because there's something that I really want to celebrate. And I think it'll resonate with just about everybody who's listening out there, which is I just got back from an opportunity to do an in-person training. And this was the first one, other than a 2-hour training I did one evening. This is the first time I've been in person since the COVID shutdown. So much of our training is done virtually, which I think is so convenient and wonderful and helpful. And the in-person just has this other dimension to it of connection with people. And so I really want to celebrate that we're starting to do a little bit more of that in person in the world of coaching. And the other piece that I really wanted to celebrate too is the level of it's just I don't even know exactly what word I want to use, but just how cool the people are to come for coach training. You know, they're really special and people who want to do this work in the world. It's hard to find better people out there. And so I celebrate all of you. I make it a big assumption that if you're listening to this, watching it, you're probably either a coach or thinking about becoming a coach. And this community is unlike anything I have ever encountered in any other way. So thank you all for showing up and wanting to be trained and wanting to be inspired. So let me transition to that. But first, actually, I'm going to say that if you would like to share a celebration on this podcast, please send it my way. I'm at jennifer@coachingoutofthebox.com. And it's just a couple sentences, right, about something that you're celebrating about your work as a coach in the world. Always have to keep in mind confidentiality when it comes to your clients, but share what's going well for you because it really is inspiring to other people. Okay, so we're going to shift to talking about our guest today. So our guest coach is Michelle Kelso, who, full disclosure, I've known for a really long time. And I was just thrilled that Michelle said yes, that she would come and play. Michelle's an ICF credentialed coach who will be sharing her experience as a senior manager, organizational development, and executive coaching with a major healthcare organization that's based in the US. Michelle's been coaching for 15 years, and since I've known her, has coached within a variety of specialties, actually, including life coaching, and within that, new moms. She's also coached women in leadership coaching in general, and also executive coaching. So to get you warmed up to listen in on what will, no doubt, because I know Michelle so well, it'll be a thought-provoking conversation. Michelle has provided us with one of her favorite quotes, and Michelle, this is one of my favorites too. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that's Maya Angelou. While you're pondering Maya's wisdom provided by Michelle, we'll take a quick break to hear from our inspiring sponsor, and then we'll be right back with Michelle to hear about internal coaching programs.
Hey there, leaders! Are you ready to turn those tough conversations into purposeful and productive ones that drive real growth? I'm thrilled to introduce you to our Coach Approach to Leadership series. This is where you can learn the skills to communicate effectively, be heard, and make lasting, positive changes in your business. Imagine a conversation where you feel confident in what to ask, you truly listen, and you provide feedback that motivates action. That's exactly what we'll work on together in this program. Got questions? No worries, our enrollment coaches are here to support you every step of the way. Book a call with us today and discover how to transform your conversations and your leadership style. It's time to inspire growth, build real trust, and turn every interaction into a powerful, productive experience.
All right, so welcome back. And as a quick reminder, today we're being inspired by our guest, Michelle Kelso, who's been leading an internal coaching program. Actually, Michelle, how long have you been leading this internal coaching program?
In this current iteration, it'll be 2.5 years.
Two and a half.
It's been a great ride and a great journey.
That was what I thought I remembered, but I wanted to be sure. And what I remember, Michelle, by the way, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank
Yay.
you for having me. It's really exciting to be a part of this. So
It
I was
is.
honored that you asked.
Yeah, well, you're a perfect fit for this because I know that you're all about inspiring people, and that's what this show is about. So I'm really happy that you said yes to being here.
Thank you.
So I know that you actually had a goal for yourself to lead an internal coaching program within this organization. Am I remembering that right?
You are remembering that right. Yep.
Yeah.
It took a while to
So
get there.
you're right. Well, and to be fair, I mean, coaching is still kind of a newer phenomenon. I mean, it's growing rapidly within corporate and all kinds of different organizations, but the internal coaching programs are still, I mean, we're still getting the ball rolling with that. And so you were a bit of a visionary, in my opinion, around wanting this and wanting to bring this to your organization. So what was inspiring to you about this, that you wanted to set that goal?
I was able to do, I've been at this organization for about 8 years now, and I was able to do some external executive coaching where we brought in people externally to be coaches. And then we started to notice probably about 2.5 or 3 years ago that our 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 organization really had a bigger appetite for it, and that there was a place. And it's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about being able to provide that coaching to more people into different levels, and to not just the levels of just executives, to be able to bring it to different levels in the organization. And so there was an appetite for it. And so it's kind of like when opportunity meets the right situation is what came across 2.5 years ago, where they decided that they were reorging HR. And then they brought in, they wanted to have an executive coaching arm. And I raised my hand to the leader who was reorging everything and said, hey, I'm not going to put my hat in any other ring. I want it for executive coaching. I want to take this. And I'd really like you to see the vision of having people hired internally who are full-time coaches who can be at the disposal of our leaders to do this work. And it came through. It happened. So 2.5 years ago, we were able to start this. And then about a year ago, we hired our 3 internal coaches. So it's been a year in September that we've had this program running in this iteration, and it is growing leaps and bounds. It's really exciting to see.
I was going to ask you how many. So you have three in addition to yourself, or are you part of the 3?
I have 3 internal coaches who are direct reports of mine, who are full-time ICF certified coaches. We have 2 other people we use for a pilot who have full-time jobs and will do coaching on the side if we need them to, regular engagements, and then myself. And since I lead the program and I'm trying to grow the program, and I'm the strategic thought partner about it, I don't take on as many. We need to get our people to capacity. But right now, we had no internal coaching engagements last September. And we have right now 27 active, and we have 27 waiting to be paired. So that has all happened in the last year. And we do have some external, but most of them are internal. It's really exciting.
It's exciting, isn't it? What impact have you been able to see so far? I know it's early days, but
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It's still early on. It's been a year, but what results or impact are you seeing?
It is, but one of the things we did in this, which I'm not going to get into all the metrics, but we revamped our surveys. We put in other checkpoints to get more feedback. And what's really great is we just do quick checkpoints halfway through to the coachees to say, hey, how's everything going? Our leadership team is just checking in to see how your experience is. And we've had people writing back who are in the middle of their internal coaches saying, this is like the best thing I've ever done. I've done, I've achieved more in these 3 months working with this coach than I had for years. There's been a lot of really good feedback, and we're just now seeing our first surveys come back for 6 month engagements that have wrapped up. And so far, it's been good. I've had leaders reach out to me to say, where was this before?
Mm.
It's been really great. And I just want to add, like, I had a lot of just hope and real confidence that this program would work, because if you get coaches who are really passionate about their work and good at what they do, they can coach anyone. I just felt like once we started to pair people and it started happening, the magic was going to happen. I wasn't worried about this experiment or whatever not
Mm.
working. I knew it would, because we have good coaches doing excellent work with excellent leaders. So I keep saying I'm so excited, but I am, because we're getting to this point where we're actually seeing the fruits of everything we put together over the last year come to fruition, and we're hearing good feedback.
Oh, well, congratulations on that,
Thank
honestly.
you.
And I know the heart that you've really put into all of this to see it reach this level of success.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
recognizing.
Mm-hmm. From a personal perspective on you and how you wanted to be a coach in the world, what has this experience or opportunity opened up for you?
So many things. It started with me. I know you've been with me for a long time. Before I came back into corporate coaching, I had my own coaching business, and it was a passion for me to help women and women who were working and had children, and to go through that whole iteration, which got me back to helping women in leadership and organizations. And bring this to fruition was really, um, I don't know, like I said, I always confidence in it, but I knew that this work could be bigger and deeper and make a larger difference than I was even making alone in my own coaching company. And I hope I'm not getting off track too much, but it's really when you, as a coach, help a leader. This is my passion. When you help a leader be better at leading people and leading the team, that trickles down. That trickles down to those people who are leaders leading their team. And in the organization that I'm in, a healthcare organization, that's super important, because associate experience yields better consumer experience. So our patients, the people that come in, like, that gets me jazzed, knowing that we can change one leader, the way they work, the way they think, the way they interact with their people, to create that. And then that trickles down, really will touch our patients. I mean, I'm not clinical, but the work
Mm.
we do can affect the clinical outcomes of the people that come in our door, and can make the working environment for our clinicians better. That gets me
Mm.
jazzed. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of getting like the little tingly feeling right now about that, because we're not clinicians. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. I can't do that. What I can do is create nurse and clinical leaders and other leaders within the organization that can make it better. So
Yeah.
that gets me all jazzed and excited about coaching work.
Well, absolutely. One of the things that, because I've done career coaching for decades now, and one of the
Yep.
things that we talk about is wanting to make a particular difference in the world, right? Not just any difference, because
Mhm.
everything you do is making a difference, but your sense of fulfillment, reward, satisfaction comes from making the difference that you want to see. And sometimes I'll ask people, whose life would you like to see better? And sometimes the people's lives who are made better ultimately, like, 2 or 3 steps removed from what you're doing, you don't ever get to see that. Like, your
Right.
clinicians get to see the impact. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about just kind of knowing it's there, but you're not really engaging with the people who are ultimately benefiting from an internal coaching program?
Personally, I'm okay with it, because I believe in that. I mean, I believe that it happens. I don't actually need to see it, but
Mm.
I believe that the work we do makes a huge difference. And we do hear about it once in a while, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But the fact that what I do, which, like, again, isn't clinical, can make that difference in someone's life somewhere, is pretty cool. It gives me a little, like, spin to be able to be involved in that, even though I don't see it. I know the work we're doing does that and makes a difference. It saves it sometimes, we do high potential high performers, but it saves people's jobs, good people who want to do
Mm.
good work, who might need a little extra in some of their executive presence or some of their leadership pieces. We can make a difference with them just by being their coach. they like, and this is, I'm speaking to the choir here to a bunch of coaches, but I mean, it's all in them. We just have to help them pull it out so they can be better, so they can affect change. And I think about that any elements of coaching, but it's cool the organization that we're doing that in and working with healthcare and leaders and, knowing people who go to the hospitals and have that experience. If we can impact that, it gets me a little giddy.
Oh, understandably, honestly. And I was really curious to hear what your perspective on that would be, because I think that's the reality of internal coaching programs, and especially at the senior leadership levels, is
Mhm.
that we're not really necessarily seeing the ripple effect going down on a day-to-day basis. And yet, when you're passionate about who ultimately is benefiting, and that's you, Michelle. I mean, I know enough about you that you have such a big heart, that you care about all kinds of people in the world. There, it does feel to me though that within this particular organization, you feel something special
Mhm.
about it. Yeah.
It's true, and it's a mission based. I don't know if you mentioned that we're a large healthcare organization, but we're non for profit and we're mission based.
Right.
It's a Catholic healthcare organization. I'm not Catholic myself, but the mission and the drive and the purpose of this organization really gets my heart. I mean, it's the healing ministry of Jesus. So whatever you believe, it's the healing ministry of people and the most vulnerable, and that really means a lot to me. And the other thing I wanted to say, not to shift, but I get my squirrel moments here. The
Go
other thing
for
I
it.
wanted to say when we were talking about coaching, the people that we coach sometimes are the leadership team of the whole organization.
Mhm.
New leaders coming in, new to role. And the one thing that really always gets me, it doesn't matter if you're talking about that executive who is high on the totem pole, or someone who's a director or a manager or just starting out, is in our organization, especially the heart of the people here.
Mhm.
I've worked with someone who's in finance, I've worked with people in legal, and that might not seem as warm and fuzzy, but they're here at our organization for a reason. And when we talk to these leaders, it's the mission, it's the passion, it's the vulnerability they're willing to share in their coaching engagements, which gives me a lot of hope for the whole organization. And when things are tough, it's been tough in healthcare, but hearing the heart of those people at the top of the house just always reminds me, one, how human we all are, and how we're all in this together, and how if you have a common purpose and a common mission, it makes a difference. And that's about a lot what I see here as well.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the piece. I'm glad that you kind of stepped in and really took the reins there, because that's what I was trying to get to, and I just didn't do a great job. So thank you for doing that. So I am curious, because there's another element of this that I've never really talked to anybody about before, which is you're managing coaches and they're
Yeah.
ICF credentialed coaches, and I think you have at least PCC, and I know you have some MCC. Is everybody an MCC
I
or?
have a PCC. I have two people in the process of ACC, and I have another one who's one of our pilot coaches who is ACC and is supervisory. So she
And
does
supervisor?
supervisor as well.
Okay, okay. What
So
is it
three
like?
report to me, and then two other that are the our pilot side coaches.
Okay,
Their side gig to help us.
I'm so curious. What's it like to lead coaches?
It's it's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's cool because the people that when we went through the hiring process, I hired three very different people with
Hmm.
very different backgrounds and
Hmm.
kind of for different reasons.
Hmm.
And the cool thing is their coaching skills, because they all have gone through ICF programs, are still on par. So you can have all that richness of their life experience of what else they've done in coaching, some specified coaching, some who've come from external having their own businesses. All that together is interesting. So sometimes it does get challenging because, and that's the great thing about being a leader of
Hmm.
awesome people, I can let them do their thing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's like we have a process, we have a standard operating procedure that we follow. They need to have, an IDP. They need to like check in with the sponsor and the coachee. It's all confidential, but we have a process. But they can do their own thing and bring their own gifts to those coaching engagements. And when we pair them with people, I just had one today when we paired, and I'm like, this to me in my heart feels like this coach would be a great fit for what they're asking for. Not because they said, I want a coach who does this, but just hearing about the engagement and what they're looking for. I kind of coach that is going to really help this person step out of the box to look at new things. And I feel like they're already going to have that synergy. So that's kind of cool. I know my three coaches. I know our external coaches too, but our three coaches, I know them and I can give them work to do, and I trust what they're going to do is quality. I like to kind of let them play in their own play box. I don't need to be their leader per se. I need to
Mhm.
help them bring that out and have that space to be who they are and bring to the table all their unique gifts.
Oh, beautifully said. And, a little bit of what you said in there, I think points to the value of having the code of ethics, right? Our
Yeah.
ethical standards.
Yes.
And it's just so fun to think about how that's being applied all over in the world.
Mhm.
That there's just a certain level of quality of responsibility that
Yeah.
coaches bring to things. So
Yeah. It allows you to play in that space because you
yes.
have that level playing field, and I love it.
And shared competencies across all
Yes.
all ranges of, yeah, it's inspiring.
Mhm.
Well, so Michelle, what would you say is your next stretch? Because I mean, this was a stretch for you 2.5 years ago. You got to step into this, create this. What's your next stretch?
I have a couple stretches because one is personally, you know this, Jen. I have had all my coach training hours for 15 years. I went
Yeah,
straight through the whole program,
you did.
all the way through everything I needed, and I was building hours that whole time. And I get nervous when I do this. So my next stretch for myself personally is to get the PCC that I've been
Mm,
working toward. I'm in the process of doing those steps. So that's on my personal stretch. Organizationally is growing this internal coaching. It's already taking off, and then still providing that. We're also extending into group coaching, which is pretty cool. We're starting
oh,
to partner ourselves with an existing Leader of Leaders program that they are creating from scratch. So there's going to be the program, and then there's going to be group coaching modules in between to really embed the learning and to help a deeper understanding and to have some of those peer kind of experiences. So we're really excited about that. We're also doing group coaching. We're across 19 markets. So across the markets, different leaders, we're starting to think about how can we do group coaching experiences for maybe all market presidents or all hospital presidents or one group of people. So we're working on that too. So organizationally, that's really exciting, just continuing to grow this. And then I think I even, was thinking about, in my future, as a person at this point in my career and in my life, I would love to take this coaching experience and what I've learned from leading this organization and coaching and beyond outside into the world to do some advocacy work that really
mm,
matters to me personally. So
mhm,
those are like three areas of next stretches. So
mhm.
personally, organizationally, and bigger picture for the world, kind of like that, the BHAG, you know what I mean? What I'd
Right.
love to do, and I need to get there at some point in time.
And for anybody who doesn't know BHAG, it's Big Hairy Audacious Goal, right? And that is Michelle. As long as I've known her, she's always had such a big vision. And well, you have probably the biggest heart of anybody I know, Michelle,
Oh,
honestly.
yeah,
So
so nice.
well, it's true, and it shows, and you're having such a great impact
I
in
hope so.
such an important way. So
That's why we're
thank you for
doing this.
doing the work that you're doing in the world.
Oh, thank you. It is a privilege to get to do this work and to be able to say, hey, I'm a coach and I can make a difference. Like we're lucky to be in this profession, just
Oh,
as you said
yeah,
at the beginning. I mean, some of the greatest people in the world are coaches, and more people
absolutely.
want to be coaches. I mean, I'll have
Mhm.
people come in my organization, like HR leaders, like vice president above, and say, like, in my next world and in my next, like growth opportunity, I'm going to ask to become a coach. I'm like,
Mhm.
go. We can't have enough good coaches in this world.
Oh,
So
I
yeah,
agree with you.
do it. Do it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Plenty,
Mhm.
plenty of room for everyone.
There is.
Um, so Michelle, if anyone wants to reach out to you, stay connected, hear a little
Yeah.
bit more, what's the best way for them to reach you?
They can absolutely reach me through my email. Do you want me to share what that
That
is?
would be great if you're
It
open
is
to it.
Michelle, Michelle dot Kelso, Kelso, at Ascension, ASCENSION .org. That is my business email or even my cell. I'm happy to have people connect with me, 773-230-5220.
That is really generous, and that is you. Absolutely.
I love to
Oh,
talk to coaches. Come on.
I know. I know. It's always so life affirming, right? So life affirming. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for being willing to be here and to answer the questions that I was trying to ask, and maybe it didn't actually get out the way I meant to.
And wonderful questions. Thank you.
So if you can hang on for just a second, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, I'm going to tell everyone how they can apply to be you, right? Come on the show and be a guest for us. And so if you'll hang on just 1 second, we'll be right back, everybody.
Hello, listeners. This is a special message from the International Coaching Group. We're thrilled to have you with us today on the Inspiring Coaches Show. If you're in search of an ICF accredited coach educator, look no further. Our flagship 555 coaching skills training program has been taught to over 45,000 people in over 38 countries. Additionally, our signature Fast Track to ICF credential program has been a key reason why both individuals and corporations choose the International Coaching Group to support their coaching skills, training, and coaching journeys. Ready to take the next step? Visit www.coachingoutofthebox.com to learn more or schedule a call with one of our enrollment coaches. We're here to support you every step of the way. Don't wait, start your coaching journey today.
Welcome back. So, the Inspiring Coaches Show is always looking for inspiring guests. If you're interested in possibly being a guest on the show, you can send an email to me. Again, it's Jennifer with 2 N's at coachingoutofthebox.com. And if you would, please just include your topic idea and a short blurb on how you think it will inspire coaches to bring their professional dreams to life. As we all know, coaches, inspired coaches especially, really believe in expressing gratitude. So, Michelle, thank you so much for coming and sharing your personality, your enthusiasm, your vision, your experience with us.
Thank you.
Re-
Thank you for having me. Happy to be
Yeah.
a part of this.
I'm so glad. And I also want to thank our sponsor, the International Coaching Group, Coaching Out of the Box. And most of all, to all of you out there who are our inspired coaches, who are leading the way to make a powerful impact on the world. Thank you for committing yourself to constantly seeking inspiration to bring your own coaching dreams to life. Until next time, I'm Jen Anderson, MCC, and this is the Inspiring Coaches Show.